In this video, I'm going to show you how to bring in a PDF to create a drawing and bring the PDF in as an XREF. So I'm going to start with my template. So I'm going to go New, and I have to path out to where my template is saved on my flash drive. Now, this template is 8.5 by 11, and my layers are already set up. So let me take a look to make sure my units are appropriate. Units are in inches. And my layers, so I've got all my layers set and I'm ready to draw. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and set the XREF layer because I'm going to bring in the drawing the PDF as an XREF. So when I come in and type in to the command prompt, I'm going to type in XREF, pull down and attach a PDF. The PDF that I'm going to attach is going to be the mechanical drawing PDF, and I'm going to open it. Now I'm going to arbitrarily let it fall into place and at the scale, because I'm not going to scale it up. So right now it's brought in and it's huge. So here's the thing, is since I don't have any actual dimensions on the object, I'm actually going to just scale this down to fit in 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to type in SC, and I'm going to go scale from the base point, a reference, from end point to end point, and I'm just arbitrarily scaling this down. Okay. Now I'm only going to trace this object here because I don't know its actual dimensions, so I'm going to use this as an idea of what the object is going to look like. Now, what we can do is on the we brought this in on the XREF layer. Let me type on my properties palette. And now I'm going to set to my visible layer. So I can come in here and I can go center, and I can come in and snap to the center of this object. Now here's the thing. Some objects, if they were created in AutoCAD and exported out as a PDF, do have the ability to snap. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to send this draw order and send that to the back so you can actually see my circle or my visible lines. So I'm going to go center, snap, and notice that they're snapping. Okay, this is going to make my life a lot easier if the PDF that I'm using snaps, uses my O snaps, and I can just trace over the top of the object. Now, it's not always going to be that simple, okay? So that's one way of doing it. Now, the other option that I have, and when I'm done tracing the object, I can unload or detach the object that I'm drawing, okay? Now, I'm going to open it again. So I'm going to go File, whoops, cancel, File, New, and I'm going to open my template one more time, but this time I'm going to bring it in as a JPEG. So templates, so I'm going to go to the model file, and I'm going to type in, make sure my XREF is current, type in XREF, and this time I'm going to pull down and go Image. Now the image I'm going to bring in is the same one. And I'm going to, this time, I am going to specify the scale on screen and then go OK. All right, so the scale came in, I should have unclicked it. The scale came in at just as an image and fell into place. Now I may, if I wanted, I could actually scale this object up, but I just let it fall into place. Now here's the thing is, now when I draw on my visible lines, so I go circle, notice there's no snap. Then what we'd end up having to do is estimate the size of the object. So we can come in and now we've set that center line. This is more often what you're going to be getting if you ever have to trace an object. So I can start building mine. Once you have one set, then you can start doing creating the visible lines based on an estimation, okay? Now, once you've got the object drawn, if you know what the actual size is, let's say that somebody said this circle was supposed to actually be a 1/2 inch in diameter. That means all of this, I would need to scale up my object based on an estimation or a ratio. So I could say, okay, I need to scale this object up from a reference of, and I'm using the center point after I said it, from this edge, I'm going to turn my ortho on, from here to this quadrant. So now when I'm starting to draw, I'm actually drawing to a specific, something that makes sense. If I said this first circle was supposed to be a 1/2 inch in diameter, then I could make this circle a 1/2 inch based on a pretty good estimation of scaling up the image behind it. And then I can start going, okay, do these circles, you know, the size of these circles make sense? Okay, so this is 1.12, so maybe I would use 1.125 as its diameter. And then a circle here out to here and go, okay, what is its diameter? It's got a diameter of 1.77, so I may say this is 1.75 or 1.8, depending on what the scale is. So we'd have to estimate or come up with an idea of what this object is in its lengths and depths. But if I didn't care, if I was just truly tracing the object, I could come out and say polyline, endpoint, and I could just use, you know, a best guess. For example, as I start drawing this, if I know this thing's going to be symmetrical about the center, then I could just draw half of it. And then I'm going to go ahead and just stop there. And I'm going to do a polyline from the midpoint here out. And I'm going to trim by this. And then I could draw these from endpoint and just do perpendicular, endpoint. And again, all of these are guesses because I don't know. And I go nearest and perpendicular. And I can copy that to the nearest. Now I'd have to change these. Whoops. Copy to the nearest. Change these lines from visible to hidden. Okay. Now, what I can do is, since I've got all of this drawn, I could mirror this about the center line. Oops. Let me try that again. Mirror, MI. Pull it back this direction and then hit enter. So I could then draw from this endpoint to this endpoint, put this on its proper layer, match, MA for match, and then I'll just trim this out from here and here, trim, trim, and get rid of that. Now when I type in XREF, I can actually unload that JPEG and I've got my drawing finished. Now, this is only going to work if you're purely, you know, allowed to estimate what these dimensions are. Okay. Once you get that set, then you'll still use the parameters of multi-view concepts for our right and top view. So I can reload that and finish up the other side. Once I have that, then you could start to dimension the object. All right, so that's how we could use XREFs using JPEGs or PDFs. For example, like I said, this PDF, type in XREF and reload this. This was a PDF that was exported out. The drawing was actually exported out as a PDF, and some of the drawings that we work with do have snappable. You can use your O-snaps and actually draw on them. For example, this one you can actually draw on, and trace. Okay, so that's the difference between an object that might have actually been exported out as a PDF from an actual drawing, or a drawing that most PDFs you're not going to have this snappable capability unless it was created from a drawing, whereas you're more often than not going to be exporting, or XREFing in drawings that are images or PDFs that aren't snappable. All right, so that's it for this video.